Hi, this is Marty Schupak, and welcome to Schupak Sports. If you're watching this on YouTube, it might be under videos for coaches for now, and we will eventually be changing everything to Schupak Sports. And just for you people, a little background: I've coached for 25 years in youth sports, mainly baseball, but I've done a lot of basketball and a little bit of soccer. I have a master's degree in physical education from Arizona State University, and sports have played a huge part of my life. I have published 11 books. I'm on my 12th, and I produced 26 sports instructional videos. I'm going to try to keep this no longer than 15 to 20 minutes. Try to give you relevant content. Try not to sell you on my products, which you can all get for free, which I'll talk about that at the end. And it's a why I'm doing this because this is a part of my life where I'm trying to give back to you guys. And right now, I am a grandparent. I have grandkids that are just approaching the age for youth sports. So I've kind of come full circle. Now, the essence of today's topic is going to be coaching techniques that work. If my eyes keep wandering past the camera, forgive me because I do have some uh, prompt notes up there. But I want to go over some techniques that I think will work. And I actually don't think the sport matters. This will be geared to baseball, but you could transition any of these ideas to any sport, whether it be soccer, basketball, uh, obviously softball is almost the same as baseball. So I've used some of these, and a lot of them have worked. Some don't work. And what I tell people, and I have done a lot of clinics around the country, some things that work one year with one team might not work another year with another team, especially drills. I consider myself I don't want to say drill expert, but that's what I really focus on. But nevertheless, let's get going. Let me give you some of these ideas. And also, a lot of times I'll touch upon a little bit of not just coaching youth sports, a little bit of parenting, which I'll relate some things that I have done as a parent that worked and some that didn't work. Obviously, nobody is the perfect parent. We do the best we could, and we want to do what's best for our kids. So, with that said, let me give you an idea of some coaching techniques that work. The first thing I want to point out is at the beginning of every season, and I didn't do this right away, have a parents' meeting and just jot down on paper some of the things you're going on as far as your philosophies, your practices, how long your practices will go. My practices never went longer than 60 to 90 minutes, but I found that over the years, if you do have a parents' meeting, you will cut down on the complaints about 50%. And what I did a few years, and it seemed to work, I would tell the parents at the parents' meeting, I'm not taking any complaints till after the fifth game. And what that does is it extends my kind of honeymoon period where I'd have to come back from games and the phone's ringing off the hook with complaints about playing time, whatever. And sometimes after the fifth game, fourth or fifth game, some of the initial problems will take care of itself. So if you do these two things, number one, you have a parents' meeting before the season starts, no longer than 15 to 20 minutes, and write things down, and you have a handout. And the second thing is try telling the parents at the meeting, I don't take complaints till after the fifth game. Don't even call me. And to be honest with you, you'll do that, but you'll still get a couple of calls, but it'll cut it down. Now, I just want to add, as far as the parents' meeting, if you are an all-star coach, and I, like I said, was involved mostly in baseball, particularly Little League, and I found that if you became coach, you have to have a parents' meeting No ifs, ands, and buts. And I'm telling you why. Because you're going to have between 11 and 13 players that were the stars of their team or think they were the stars of their team. And you're going to have shortstops and pitchers that you're going to have to play in left and right field. And a lot of the parents aren't going to like that. And you're going to have players that have been up in the batting order for first, second, or third that are going to end up being up eighth or ninth. You have to go over these things and you have to do it in such a way at your all-star team parents meeting that they understand. And what I would do is I would let them know, look, if you're not going to be happy with your son playing right field or batting ninth, tell me right now, because I would say don't come on the team, don't cancel your vacation plans. Okay, I want to be fair with you. I was appointed coach, and I'm going to run things the way I think gives us the best chance to succeed. So if you don't want to have, if you can't stand it because your child used to bat first and play shortstop, and now he's batting ninth and he's in right field, or maybe he's not starting, please consider maybe not playing. I have a list of people that would love to come on the team and bat ninth, play right field, or sit on the bench. Now, if you tell them it this way, it's very effective. And you could do this in any sport with playing time. Basketball travel teams, especially, parents have to travel a lot. You have to explain to them your philosophy. All right. So try to have that parents meeting. And when you have a young team, what I suggest is at the beginning of the season and during the season, and if you're coaching, let's say T-ball or 7 and 8 years old, try to kneel down so your eye level is almost equal to their eye level. It's so important. And also, when you talk to your team, make sure you, as coach, you're facing the sun. You don't want your team facing the sun, because what happens a lot of times, they'll be covering their eyes, they'll be turning their head, and they're only going to get about 25 to like 30% of what you're saying. So these are small things, but it is effective. Learn the names of your team quickly. All right. Nothing feels better for a human being is when you call them by their name. All right. I was adamant about my team getting to practice on time for a number of reasons. I was brought up always to be on time, but also, and I mentioned, my practices are not long at all. They're 60 to 90 minutes. If a player comes 10, 12 minutes late, they're going to could miss like 20, up to 20, 25% of the practice. So at the parents' meeting, you have to really be adamant about that and tell them your feelings. And what I do in baseball, here's a little trick. As the players arrive to practice, I will give them a number. So the first person to arrive is number one, second person is number two, and so on. At the end of practice, our last activity is batting practice. That's the way they bat in batting practice. Whoever showed up for practice first, he will be up first in batting practice, and this is very effective. Another technique I use sometimes is that, and this you could use in baseball and softball. You could use this in basketball and soccer, different drills. I would actually start practice with a very short batting practice. And the kids that are coming later, they're seeing we're having batting practice and they don't understand what's going on. And they'll even ask me, they'll say, Coach, are we having batting practice from now on at the beginning of practice? And I'll just say, well, you don't know. You have to get here on time. Sometimes we will, sometimes we won't. So those are two key tips to get your players to practice on time. Give them numbers, and that's how they bat and bat in practice, or that's where they'll have a choice, let's say in basketball and scrimmaging, or in soccer, what position they want to play, or in a soccer shooting drill. And two, sometimes have a batting practice. A short batting practice is the first thing as soon as you arrive at practice. Also, you as coach, try to get there like 10 minutes before practice. You want to try to be the first person there. When you use these techniques, you'll see players arriving 10 to 15 minutes before practice. And one of the beautiful things is at the beginning of the year, at the parents' meeting, you'll have parents that will come up to you and say, Coach, if you practice a lot, my son, my daughter, whoever's on your team, they have karate lessons, they have piano lessons, and you have to just tell them, look, I have to do it according to my schedule and everyone else's. You'll find if you run a good stimulating practice, parents and kids will adjust their schedule around your practice. It works. It worked for me for 25 years because I focused on having very enthusiastic, stimulating practices. I was more of a practice coach than a game coach because I thought we could teach more fundamentals and techniques at practices and really get the kids enthusiastic about the sport I was coaching. All right. I mentioned learn the names quickly. And also, as far as practice, I tell parents I will not start a practice unless I have another assistant coach there or a second parent. And I tell parents, when you drop your kids off, you can't leave until another parent shows up. I just think this is in the best interest as you as a coach. You want to always have another parent with you too. Um, One of the techniques I did in baseball, and again, you could apply this to other sports, is I turned a negative into a positive. So I would read the batting order and I would um, say the ninth player, and his name was, let's say, Tim Jones. Usually, when he would hear his name, ninth, he would say, oh, shucks, I'm batting ninth. But what I did is, and I pointed this out in the parents' meeting, my team, whoever batted ninth, is guaranteed to play the whole game. So you'll see that some of the players, when they hear the name batting ninth, they instead of saying, "Oh shucks, I'm batting ninth," they'd say, "Oh great, I'm playing the whole game today." Now you could do this in other ways. You could do this if you say your player, the player that plays in right field, will play the whole game too. So you have to be open-minded and creative. And part of what I do, I know with my drills, a lot of people love my drills and all the videos I've done. But my goal in doing this and in writing my books and doing these videos is to get you to create your own drills. I want to open up those creative juices, and you could do it. I mean, if you have a drill that I put in one of my videos or books and you could make it better, by all means, make it better. And another item is, and I just want to talk about that with the drills too, about being flexible and open-minded. Sometimes you'll get a player that will, and it's happened to me, that will say, Coach, this drill you're doing, this was an 11-year-old kid. He said to me, wouldn't it be better if we did it this way? And he would make a suggestion, and I'd say, you know what? We're going to do it that way. That's a great idea. Okay. Another thing I do is I reward players with extra batting practice swings. Uh, and do not, if you're coaching baseball or softball, do not deny your team batting practice. If they're playing baseball or softball, they live for batting practice. There was a time when I was coaching, and I was lucky enough that I had put together a couple of tremendous seasons, championships in our league and in our county. And we went pretty far in the state tournament, where it kind of went to my head, and I thought I invented baseball. So the next season, I decided to run practices a different way, where I ran it like a football coach, where I focus, a high school football coach, where I focus on offense one day, defense another day. What a mistake, I'm telling you. It lasted a week, and I went back to my old way. Don't try to reinvent the game you're coaching, okay? Uh, if you win championships, it's a combination of your hard work, and it's a combination of luck and the talented players you have on the team. Just remember that. Don't let it go to your head like it went to my head. Okay. What I would do in baseball during the season, I would reward players with extra batting practice swings. So if I was cleaning up after practice the equipment and I saw a kid, Billy, start to help out without asking him to help out, I would say out loud, Billy's helping out with the equipment. You get one extra swing next practice. Okay. That is very, a lot more effective than if you announced, whoever helps me out with the equipment will get an extra swing. Don't do it that way. When the kids help you out or you see them doing something good, I saw one time, I would say, Johnny knew he was going to be out at second base, but he still slid like he's supposed to do. You get an extra swing at batting practice. Skills and techniques you're trying to teach, you're allowed to reward them any way you want. And I did it with extra batting practice swings, and that worked. One of the things I also did for a number of years, it worked. I would give out on my baseball team something called the 10th Player Award. And what I would do is at the beginning of the season, I would buy a trophy. And I'm telling you, this trophy would be the biggest trophy I could get and afford. And I would show the team and I'd actually show the parents. I said, look, this award is the 10th Player Award. It has nothing to do with how well your child plays baseball, what their batting average is, what their pitching percentage is, how many wins. This award is given to the player that shows the most enthusiasm on the team. It's a combination of encouraging their teammates and helping out with equipment. And a number of years, I awarded it to, could have been like one of the worst players on the team, but they were thrilled with it. One year, I actually had it was a 1 in a million year where actually we didn't win the championship, but excuse me, the players, it was a good group of kids. And it seemed like every practice, players would help out with the equipment. And I got together with my assistant coaches and we pooled money and we actually bought 11 more of the exact same trophies. We gave it out to every player in the team. It cost us a fortune, but we just couldn't deny any of the players. I actually did this for a number of years. I don't remember exactly why I quit doing it. It might have gotten somewhat political, but it's just an idea that you could try if you want to try. Also, what I would do at the end of the year, I would buy T-shirts for my team with the name of the team on, and usually we would have a team picnic. And during the picnic at the end, I would get everyone together and call 2 of the players up at one time. And briefly, I would mention one positive thing that the player did during the season. And it didn't have to be on the field during a game. And the kids love that. And I think the parents got a kick out of it too. So we're going to wrap this up. And I'll put a few links, hopefully, on the bottom where you could find some articles on this. I'll put a direct link for an article I wrote on my on this website, T-Ball America, which is kind of a generic name, T-Ball America, where I just don't cover T-ball. I go everywhere from T-ball up to like college baseball, softball, and basketball scholarships. So you should kind of check it out. Please follow me at Schupak Sports, Twitter, if you like some of these tips. And I'll put it at the bottom of the page. So that's about it. And hopefully this will be a regular segment. I'll come on again. Plan to try to do it weekly. And please like me, please subscribe. And I'm going to try to keep everything relevant. And I don't want to overdo it and overburden you with information that is not necessarily going to be good for you. But again, I want to just share some of the things that worked when I was coaching and being a parent, and some of the things that didn't work. So for Schupak Sports, this is Marty Schupak. Until next time.